Hey, Mortgage Coach community, Dave Savage here, and today I am interviewing Justin Brown out of San Dimas, California. What's up, Justin?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. So I was talking to Mr. Foreman in, where was I? New Jersey, East Coast. He had a lot of great things to say about you, and it sounds like you're doing great things with Mortgage Coach. So I wanted to one just find out a little more about your mortgage story, how you're using Mortgage Coach, and I always try to get some scripts out of these calls just to help other loan officers. So let's try to do that. So if you could tell everybody about your market, your mortgage practice, how many people on your team, and then we'll get some big ideas out of you.
Yeah, I'm in Southern California. I have 6 people on my team, and I've been using Mortgage Coach, I think, for about 7 years. It's kind of just it's part of our whole process. So I've been using it for quite some time. When I started originating in 2009, and as soon as I saw Mortgage Coach, I fell in love. I started using it. I was a processor for about 10 years before I started originating, so I was always very just analytical, and I liked numbers. And to me, it just stood out as a way to really like a kind of in a flashy way to really show clients, good breakdowns, presentations, and help build that trust.
So when I ask you your mortgage coach, why mortgage coach versus fee worksheets or some other way of doing things?
I honestly, fee worksheets are just plain boring. Everybody does them. And I feel like clients, we have to build that level of trust. So, we're always pushing to try and meet with them face to face. We're trying to build that relationship, build that rapport. And I feel like Mortgage Coach just really makes it look more transparent because there's so much information in it at their fingertips that's interactive. We could adjust it. And I think that alone, the more transparent it feels to the clients, the better the trust factor is.
Yeah. So it's a trust accelerator.
Yeah.
It's helps you get more referrals. From a time perspective, do you feel like it takes you more time, less time? How do you feel like it drives efficiency in your borrower consultation and your workflow?
It honestly, it's second nature now. It's just like filling out a GFE, or not GFE anymore, but it's like filling out a fee worksheet. You gotta if you want to do it right, you have to take the time to put in the right impounds, to put in the right prepaids, all that stuff. It's the same thing. It really only takes a couple minutes. So to me, it's pretty easy. When I first signed up with Mortgage Coach, though, I honestly didn't use it that much, and I knew I needed to, and I just made it a goal. Like I got to start using this on everything, and it's been so many years. It's just second nature.
Yeah, no, I hear that all the time. Again, you've created thousands of total cost analysis. By the
Yeah.
way, that does bring up a question. Do you create the TCA or do you have someone on your team who you,
My
you
team
work with on it?
Now my team does. So it used to be me, but now that my team's grown, they're making 90% of them.
So they'll do the data input, they'll prepare it,
Oh yeah.
and then you'll have the client consultation and you'll deliver
Yeah,
the,
and then
the, the insight.
I'll make the adjustments on the fly. So once I'm meeting with the client and we're diving more into an actual conversation and goals and numbers, then I start to make adjustments, but it's already built out for me, so it's pretty easy to start making changes from there.
And how, in terms of the live feature, are you using that very often where you're making it interactive, the client's looking at it from their
So
mobile phone, and how is
every
that?
time, every time. So we push to meet with the clients and do a consult on every pre-approval. We do a Mortgage Coach presentation for every pre-approval we do. We'll do anywhere from, on a slow week, 6 pre-approvals. On a busy, we've done 22 pre-approvals in some weeks, and we do one for every client. And then once we finish the pre-approval and have the Mortgage Coach built, we push to meet with them, whether it's in person. If it's in person, they sit next to my computer and I walk them through it. And if it's over the phone, we do require that they're going to have internet access, and I do either Blue Jeans or go to meeting with a video feed so that they could see me, and I'm using the live feature and walking them through my desktop. But I also, show them how to I show them how to navigate. So I do it on all of them. I use the live feature every time.
Got it. So you're updating Mortgage Coach, the client's following along. What
Yeah.
any particular stories where you can think of a customer that it created clarity for, it created urgency for, and any success stories where you feel like it helped you win the loan or it helped you get to a level where they're giving you more referrals?
Well, there's not like specific success stories. There's just when I use it or when I don't. When I don't use it, I notice the difference. I notice the rate shopping. I notice the amount of questions when they're out shopping, versus when I meet with them and I go through this presentation and empower them to know how the numbers work, how the numbers look, what the breakdowns are, and make it very transparent through Mortgage Coach. I just noticed the difference. My conversions went up. The questions while they're out shopping went down. The rate shopping went down. That's why, so there's not really like one success story. It's just the feedback from the clients when the presentations are done, and the conversion that we get. That's my success story.
Love it. Love it. So by the way, everybody,
I wouldn't take the time to keep using it,
Yeah, right. So I am going to put a couple links below. You're watching this in YouTube, down in the description below. I'm going to put a link to the John Downs interview, actually 2 interviews. I put those in there because I did that interview 45 days after he started using it. And again, one, he walks you through how he started using it. That one's called Getting Started. And then the other one, 45 days into it, he talks about the value he's getting from realtors. So check those out below. Now, what about you from a realtor perspective? Are your realtors familiar with Mortgage Coach? How do you use it as a competitive advantage to get more realtor referrals?
So when I'm meeting with realtors, I'm explaining it, I'm showing it to them. And the biggest thing I do that I think works is when I get my first client from a realtor and I pre-approve them, I do either have the realtors conference in or come in person. I really push them to do it so that they can see how it looks and feels and actually see their borrowers react or their clients' reaction. And after that, they love it. And so I think it's a huge value proposition. I think you could show them and it looks flashy, but I think you really have to get them to be with you on your first consultation to see how it works. And from there, it's a game changer for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, when we do our training, we always try to teach loan officers that you want to go from a loan officer that they wouldn't give you a referral if they didn't trust you and they didn't believe that you close loans on time. I mean, that's kind of like level 1 relationship. And what we try to teach is become a level 3, which is where they see you as someone that creates clarity and urgency by the way that you educate a borrower. So, by the way, any scripting, I always try to get scripting from someone as successful as you. By the way, what kind of production are you doing? What kind of volume are you doing?
To me, it's honestly embarrassing because I'm down like 35% this year or more, but I'm close. I'm averaging 15 loans a month this year.
It's a lot of volume. I mean,
but it's 90% purchase, and so we're trying to get back to where we were last year. Got a lot of work to do.
Well, we know refis are down, and that costs some volume. And you and I talked before this call, so you'll get it back up to where it was. And the good news is, 2018, while refis are not going to save the day for anybody, purchases should be better in most markets. And I'm sure you got a great strategy for that. So give us just a sense of the script with a realtor when you're helping other Mortgage Coach members, either have the conversation so you showcase Mortgage Coach, or you're just describing it to a realtor. What does that sound like?
Well, it sounds like it's all about trust with the client. So at the end of the day, when a realtor has a client that they refer to us, a lot of times the client's not even sold on them as an agent. So the value proposition is, look, this is a tool that I have to really solidify the relationship and build the trust between us as a team. And by the time the clients are done sitting down with us and going through this whole presentation that has so much transparency and empowerment for them as a client, that, believe me, they're sold on working with us. They're not going to want to go anywhere else because anywhere else they go is going to give them 15% of the information I just did. And we come together as a package. So I explained to the realtors how it helps their conversions as well.
So by the way, I want to make sure everybody heard that. You are basically using it to say, hey, trust me to close on time, but I am going to help you convert more buyers. And then it's not just a promise. It's let me show you how. And then that experience is just so obviously compelling that you're a conversion partner, not just a lending partner.
For sure. So you definitely have to edify the realtor at the beginning, the middle, the end of the presentation. And if the realtor's there while you're doing it, that helps even more. So you got to explain that to the realtor that, hey, I'm not just going to do this. I'm going to let them know, hey, how did you meet so-and-so? Oh my gosh, I work with hundreds of agents. You got so lucky that you connected with them. Great. Well, let's, get into the presentation. And, as you're talking about goals and price ranges and properties, oh, you're looking out in Chino. Oh my gosh, well, so-and-so is so good out there. You're so lucky. Great. And you keep going. And then again, if they're there part of that presentation with you, they can't always be, but all of that does solidify their relationship and helps quite a bit. Little scripting things.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So we have a lot of loan officers that have access to Mortgage Coach through either a pricing engine integration like Optimal Blue or a CRM integration. From what I understand, you're using it standalone. So right now, and how much time do you think it's taking you or your assistant to prepare a Mortgage Coach report? Like what kind of time investment are we talking about?
I could probably knock them out in 5 minutes, but my team, I don't know. I think it takes, them maybe 10 minutes each one, depending on what they're doing.
Got it. So 5 to 10 minutes. And by the way, I did a call. I'm going to put a link below where I interviewed 5 top loan officers. What was their workflow? And every single one of them had did it in 5 minutes. So how to create a Mortgage Coach report in 5 minutes. If it
Yeah.
is taking you more than 5 minutes, do watch the link to the workflow video before. I not only interviewed people that have done a lot of Mortgage Coach reports and they're doing it quickly, but I had Jacob Gibbs on our call giving speed tips. So even like the best Mortgage Coach users were like getting speed tips to go better. By the way, Justin, you might want to have your team watch that workflow video.
Like,
Might give them some speed tips to get even faster.
sounds good.
So, hey, man, this has been great. I really appreciate you taking time to give
Yeah.
value back to the Mortgage Coach community. Anything we could do for you in your branch, let me know. If you got value from this interview, like it, share it. You're watching this on YouTube, probably posted it on LinkedIn. Help us get the word out that there is a better way to educate borrowers. And when you do it with Mortgage Coach, you actually turn it into a competitive advantage. Something that gets you more referrals from past customers. Hey, one last question, Justin. I don't know if you're doing this or not. If you're not, it's a big idea. Are you doing any annual reviews, using Mortgage Coach for reviews with your past customers?
Yeah, we do blasts to our database. We don't do it specifically like by the month. Every couple months, we'll just kind of research what rates are, and we'll just look in our pipeline of everybody that has, like, let's say current rates are 4%. Then I'm going to look in my database for everybody that maybe has 4.5 or higher, and then I send a video and a blast out to everybody in the database that meets that threshold. So we do reviews, but kind of in our own way.
Yeah, I'm going to actually put a link to that below. I interviewed Rick Shear, who's doing about 100 million this year, and he shared how he's doing annual reviews using Mortgage Coach. And by the way, I interviewed him for an hour. I just did like a 10-minute highlight where I really clipped his annual review process. I highly recommend you have your team check it out.
Awesome.
Anybody that's watching this call, that link will be below too. So hey, Justin, I'm going to let you get going. Appreciate the time, appreciate the value, and looking forward to helping you have a record-breaking 2018.
Definitely. Thank you.
All right. Take care, man.